What's up, world?
How y'all doing today?
We here, we back, we living blessed. We here to give you another episode of the Disability News
Report. Let's go.
I'm Garrison Redd.
I'm Garfield Williams.
And we your favorite news reporters. So, a lot's been going on, but first I want to take time to just let everyone know that we appreciate the subscriptions that we've been receiving.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
And we would like to, applaud y'all for keeping us in mind, keep reaching out to us. And we want to make a little change. What we want to do is we want to hear from you.
Yes, if you have any news of anything you feel that should be reported, as far as the disability community, you want to, voice your opinion and put information out there, please report it to us and we'll make sure it's delivered to the people by you.
Yeah, reach out, definitely.
Yes.
We have tons of avenues you can reach out to us on.
Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, everything will be in the bio, most definitely.
Yes, please make sure you like and subscribe so we can continue providing you the good service that we have been.
Yeah, and tell me what you want. We want to hear from y'all.
Yes.
It's not all about us.
Yes,
we want exactly. So let's get right into it. There's a lot of things that's been going on since our last news report.
Yes.
There was this real alarming article we came across that we would love to report to you all. So we're going to get started right now. In Queens, a woman's wheelchair was stolen. However, it was replaced by strangers. So I'm going to elaborate a little more and give you some more details. A lady by the name of Antonia Martinez says she couldn't believe her eyes when her daughter Michelle's wheelchair was stolen. It was covered in plastic and tied with a chain to a fence next to their Jackson Heights apartment building.
Wow.
The chain was cut and the chair is valued at around $5,000, was nowhere in sight when they went to go look for it. So, as the report said by the mother, the wheelchair is too heavy to carry, especially with her. That's why I leave it down there tied with the chain. Martinez made the unfortunate discovery around 9 p.m. on Christmas Day, so this goes back quite some time. Michelle Molina is 18 years old. She suffers from scoliosis and Rett syndrome. The teen cannot speak and depends on a wheelchair to get around. Her school bus will not let her board without it. She states she was very sad. The wheelchair is indispensable for her. She needs it to be transported to school or to go outside, and it is so important. But after hearing Michelle's story, many people have stepped up to help out. New York One received several calls from people eager to lend the family a hand, donating a chair. It doesn't have all the features Molina needs, like a support harness and feet straps, but the family is still grateful. They really did not expect this. Thank you. They state thank you very much to everyone that has taken out the time to call me and ask to say that they want to donate a wheelchair. Martinez added that the police say they found a stolen wheelchair dumped on the street, which was at the precinct and is part of an investigation. No suspect has been caught or identified. See, things like this is what the Garrison Redd project was started for. We provide individuals with assistive equipment, that way they could carry out their daily living.
Yes.
Like for me, I know how important the wheelchair is for me to get around. And what people fail to realize is that a wheelchair is not a restriction. It's society that imposes a restriction on wheelchair users. A wheelchair is just a means for individuals to get around and to carry out their daily living. So for those individuals out there that you might have stole the wheelchair, that is very, very terrible what you did. And it's unfortunate that you would do such a horrible thing such as that nature, because you never know what the person may be going through and how important it is to them. So for anybody out there that, come across wheelchairs, walkers, canes, whatever adaptive or assistive equipment they may come across, feel free to reach out to us,
yes,
to donate it to us. That way we could provide individuals with these assistive equipment for times of need, such as the one that went on by Miss Martinez.
Yes.
Now we're going to move on to the next issue that's been very alarming and it's been very big in the news. And I'm going to let Garfield carry that one out.
Yes, this has been big for like the last week. One of the big topics going on, headlines all over and all news. Why the college admission scandal hurts students with disability. Students with disability and disability rights advocates are among those angry and feel victimized after the arrest in the college admission and bribery scandal Tuesday. Stories like this are why we continue to see backlash to that disability community, disability rights laws. Rebecca Coakley, director of the Disability Justice Initiative at the Center of American Progress, said in a statement, federal authorities say that those involved in a bribery scheme took advantage of testing accommodations on the SAT and ACT meant for students with disabilities. Here's how. Over the last 8 years, a man named William Rick Singer worked with parents, college coaches, and test administrators to use bribery and other forms of fraud to secure the administration of students to college and universities. According to the Justice Department investigation, it was all to get students into elite colleges like Yale, Georgetown, and Stanford. Singer had clients seek extended time for their children on college entrance exams, which included having children purport to have learning disabilities in order to obtain requirement medical documentation, the Justice Department found. And Singer told families that this was common practice. In 2018, he told a parent over the phone, what happened is all the wealthy families that figure out that if I get my kid tested and they get extended time, they can do better on the test. So most of these kids don't even have issues, but they're getting time. The playing field is not fair. That conversation was included in an affidavit filed Tuesday. Understandably, parents and educators who work with students with disabilities are outraged. This hurts every individual in a learning disability. Beth McGraw, the president of Learning Disabilities Association of America, said in the statement, at many levels of education, students with disabilities such as dyslexia and ADHD can receive extra time on standardized tests. It's one of a number of ways that we make tests accessible to all students.
That's horrible right there, because there's individuals in this world that really need these, this extra time on exams and things of that nature. And for people to be taking advantage of that and false claiming that they are disabled, that's just like horrible that someone would even do such a thing. Mm-hmm. And that's another issue. That's the reason why a lot of individuals, that are disabled do not get adequate support in regards to like test taking and things of that nature, is because people is abusing the system.
Yes.
So I want to know how y'all feel about that.
Yes,
so
please comment. We'll reply back, and we want to hear what you guys think about the situation. This is something that really amazed me a lot from the minute I seen this.
Yep.
Also, we're gonna head on to another topic. U.S. government wants to use social media to decide who is disabled enough for disability benefits. The U.S. government wants to use your Facebook post to decide if you're disabled. According to the New York Times, the Trump administration is proposing that the Social Security Administration office routinely examine the social media accounts of people who have applied for or received disability benefits as a part of determining whether they're qualified. The policy is not specifically outlined in Trump's recent released budget, though it does mention allowing the SSA to use all collection tools to recover funds in certain scenarios. The budget would have to be approved by Congress before going into effect. This proposal has alarmed disability advocates all over the country. However, most of the objections raised in the media have failed to address the real dangers of such a policy to individuals with disability and the disability community as a whole.
Yeah, that feels like they really violating.
Who are you to tell somebody that they're not disabled?
Yeah, what is the criteria for being disabled on social media? That doesn't even make sense. Make sense. I don't see the logic in that, and that's another alarming issue. And we got to do something about it. We got to start standing up. We got to start uniting and coming together as one, because there's a lot of individuals that are disabled. However, they have a strong social media presence.
Yes.
That don't make them less disabled. That just makes them more active. And they're individuals that want to showcase some of their talents and some of the abilities that they do have. So I don't like that proposal that Trump is coming up with. So let's all, band together and let's think of ways where we could limit issues such as that.
Yes, comment and give us some feedback on what you feel on this situation right here.
All right, now to segue to the next topic, this was somebody reached out to me, and I applaud the individual for reaching out to me in regards to this issue. Through the Reeve Connect and Christopher Reeve Foundation, they got in contact with me, and I'm going to pretty much read to you what they wrote me. I'm going to leave them, their information disclosed as their who they are, because of the fact that I want to keep their privacy. So they wrote to me, "Hi, I read your intro and I thought I might run something by you. My husband signed up and trained for a marathon last year. We live way out in West Texas, so it is a remote highway race, but also a Boston qualifier. He's decided to use his hand cycle because we have goat head stickers and tumbleweeds all over out here, and the racing chair goes flat on the road and it's expensive to repair. Trust me, I know." He contacted the race manager and they discussed a possible wheelchair division. I don't know if that was ever created, but he found an older lady who a neuromuscular disease that was also doing the half on a hand cycle. And so they trained. He was stoked. He took pics the night before of his helmet and race number and posted on social media. I was working night shift at the ER, but was going to push on and run a 5K after the shift just to be there. But I got a call. I couldn't even grab my sneakers. He was hit by a car at the starting line area. There must have been over 100 people around warming up for the full marathon. It was still dark just before sunrise. The lady that hit him said she was going about 60 miles per hour. It blew my mind when I found out she was there to run the race. She was hauling it down to the start because she was worried she'll miss goal time. They flew my husband from the scene, helmet on and strapped in. The impact thrust him forward and flipped the chair with him into it onto the highway. He sustained a deep forehead laceration, broken foot, terrible road rash down the shoulder and arm, and a concussion. We were grateful that he wasn't left with an increased disability or killed. Here is the one thing though. Just 1 week later, we looked at the webpage for the race. They posted a notice that athletes using adaptive equipment like racing chairs, hand cycles, etc. were no longer allowed to race. Right after that, we wrote something like, "This is a highway race and all runners are personally responsible for your safety." Wow, as if he asked to get hit by this lady. Who knew that there were tons of people standing around in the dark? I feel like the race is really discriminating against adaptive athletes. All they had to do was place some lights, a few cones, maybe have law enforcement close down the highway for the race. My husband was wearing protective equipment and reflective gear with a light. So then she asks, "How do you feel about this, and do you hear of others who have gone through this kind of thing?" We don't want to bring it forward to larger racing boards until the lawsuit to get his medical bills is over. The chopper ride was more than a Tesla would cost, and he wasn't medically covered for 2 more months. We both think we should say or do something when the time is right. So I totally agree with you on this. I mean, this is such a horrible incident that occurred.
Anybody could have got hit.
And
disabled or able.
And I feel that, like Garfield just said, anybody could have got hit. So why would you discriminate and single out one particular group of individuals due to the fact of someone else's negligence?
Yes.
So my suggestion to you is, I know that you have a lawsuit going on, so I don't know the parameters in regards to that. However, as soon as the time is right, I think you should bring it to larger racing boards. That way, in the future, this particular highway can possibly be shut down, and it will give the individuals that are disabled and use adaptive equipment such as hand cycles or racing chairs to possibly, have a little bit, more care and more sympathy towards individuals such as myself and this individual that was hit, because of the fact that that could have been anybody. That could have been myself. I do race with a racing chair, and an incident such as this is horrific.
Yes.
Because 60 miles per hour to be struck at that speed, basically your hands, your life was in the hands of God at the time. So I'm glad that this individual is alive. However, something like this needs to be presented to a much larger scale.
Yes.
And hopefully his recovery goes well.
Yes.
However, I will do whatever's in my power to see that this particular race will allow individuals that use adaptive equipment to continue racing. And you got to understand that it is a Boston Marathon qualifier, so this is very, very important to qualify for this particular event. So anybody else that has any suggestions in regards to this or is willing to help out,
yes,
please reach out to me, and that way we can, do whatever we can to see that these individuals are not discriminated against in the future.
Exactly.
So now me and Garfield would like to bring to your attention, and we would like to hear what y'all have to say about this recent issue with Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil invited an interabled couple on his show, in which the individual's girlfriend is his caregiver. Now, Dr. Phil made some, what I would say is some really terrible remarks, stating that an individual cannot be a significant other and a caregiver. It will not work 100 out of 100 times. And when I heard this, I was just alarmed, because for one, most of the time, the significant other, if they're with their, with that individual that is disabled, they are with them to assist them, to love for them, and to care for them.
And what you call that?
I call that a caregiver. No matter how you look at it, I know tons of interabled couples, such as Cole and Charisma,
yes,
and the list goes on, and they live a very comfortable and happy life. And if you've never been disabled, you don't know so much about love and the person's love of that disabled individual.
Yes, he needs to look at the documentary, take a look at this heart.
Exactly, where you've seen different couples express how that the love goes beyond caregiving. The love is basically from the heart, like the show emphasizes. And with that said, I need to hear more people speak up on this, and because Dr. Phil should never have made that remark, because that he's not disabled, and he's never been disabled.
Yeah, hearing that, he was real aggressive with it,
stating it
I
won't
felt
work.
the way.
Yeah, how do you know that it won't work?
Yes.
Have you been in that person's shoes? And often a person that's loving you, they willing to go above and beyond no matter what. It's just out of the kindness and sympathy, empathy, all of those words, but it's from their heart. It's nothing to do with them being disabled. Any relationship is going to experience issues.
Point blank, period. You can't stop that, and that's how you actually grow within a relationship. Exactly.
So for him to make those remarks, I felt like he was really, really inconsiderate, and he showed no compassion towards love.
I don't understand where he came from as far as what he was trying to deliver with that.
Yeah, so please comment below on what you think about it.
Please.
So that way, I feel as if, the more the comments come on the page, more individuals will see how strong the disabled community is.
Yeah, and it's an opportunity for you guys to voice
your
voice,
yeah,
and your opinion. We're fighting for you, and this is for y'all.
Yeah, exactly. So we need to hear you guys' opinion on this matter, because of the fact that it's terrible that people still think this way in this day and age. And I just felt like my feelings towards it was like just so terrible. That's the problem with society. Society is not ready to see inter-able couples living happier than able-bodied couples in most cases.
It's actually already happening. It's just that nobody understands and doesn't see it.
So we got to bring more awareness. That's what I feel. Like Garfield just said, if more people sees it, then more people will start to understand what goes on.
I think you need to tune into a Colin Charisma show.
Exactly. And then there's another show, K&K show as well. They're an inter-able couple, and they live a very, very happy life. So we decided to start a new segment, which this segment will continue every week, where we're going to ask 11 questions to an individual that's either disabled or a caregiver or just involved in the disabled community. And what we titled it is 11 questions on life with a disability. Now, anybody can feel free to come on the show, just send us a message and explain to us, we're just going to ask questions just to get a feeling of how do you feel about the disabled community, how you feel if you're disabled, how you feel about being disabled, and some of the extraordinary things that you're doing and some of the accomplishments that you may have.
Yes.
So for this first episode of this, Garfield will be interviewing me.
Yeah. Okay. So what motivates you on a daily basis?
That's a great question. What motivates me on a daily basis is the people, because there's so many individuals that's overlooked that I feel as if that the more I do is the more awareness I'm bringing to them. And also I'm trying to be that person to, instead of knocking on a door, I don't want to knock on a door. I want to kick the door down. And it's funny that I say that because, I'm paralyzed from the waist down. And when I say I want to kick the door down, that's exactly what I mean. So I want to kick the door down. That's it. Like, that's my motivation. I want to give people more opportunities because a lot of people, would invite you to sit at the table, but they don't want you to eat. And that's how I feel about the disabled, how people treat individuals in the disabled community. They don't mind us sitting at the table, but they don't want to give us food to eat. So that's what pretty much motivates me. And the more I keep going, the more people and more lives that I'm touching, I feel that it's really going to open the doors for a lot of individuals that, was overlooked.
Okay. I mean, I see, like you said, you want to kick down the doors. A lot of people also want to know, where you get this competitive spirit from. I actually see it as a very positive thing.
Well, the competitive spirit that I exemplify comes from, just me being me. I think some people is born with it. From a young, me, from a child, I don't want to lose. And I feel no matter what cards are, it doesn't matter the cards that you are dealt, yes. It's how you play that hand.
Yes.
And it's like poker. I can have the worst hand right now, but I'm not going to know it. And that's how I feel. If you keep competing, if you keep throwing punches, one day you're going to get that opportunity where it's going to be able to change the world.
Okay. Growing up, who were some of your role models?
My role models was more or less my parents, honestly. I never really looked up to individuals like sports figures or entertainers. Just seeing my parents get up and go to work every day just gave me that encouragement. This is life, and life is what you put in is what you get out. So I'll say my role models was my mother and father for the most part. But yeah, because I never really looked up to superheroes. I never really watched TV like that growing up. So I feel like Michael Jordan, he's a great basketball player. A lot of people looked up to him, but I could never consider him one of my role models because I don't know him personally. So it's I feel as if my parents is the ones that I looked up to just to get that guidance. And sometimes you got to be your own role model. You got to pave the way for yourself, You designed yourself. Nobody designs you. So
I like that.
That's how I feel.
Okay, so what are some of your values, your life values?
I feel like you should treat everybody with respect. You get further in life by using manners. So I try to give everybody that common courtesy. I try to respect every individual I come in that cross my path. Because you never know. I feel like everybody that you meet them for a reason. And you don't know what that reason is. You might not never know what that reason is. But at the end of the day, people come in your area, come into your lane for a reason. And you just got to determine what that reason is. I mean, everybody is everybody. So I always value being honest. I always value treating people with respect, because I know that at the end of the day, what you give off into the world is what you get back.
Okay, I like that one. Also, I know some people want to know, what made you find interest to actually run for the mayor in the near future?
Because I always wanted to be great, and I feel like you can't change anything from the bottom. Like, you could think of all of these cool things you want to do, but at the end of the day, if you really want to change, you got to be in position to make a change. And I feel like I live in the biggest city in the world, which is New York City, and I love this city. I mean, I went through all my schooling academic levels came from New York City. So at the end of the day, it's like, if I'm the mayor of New York City, I could really change how individuals are living, especially minorities, people coming from impoverished backgrounds. And at the end of the day, you could give people hope. And if you could give people hope, that's all that matters in this world. And I feel like a lot of individuals that are, in places where they can provide, hope to other individuals, they come from successful families and things of that nature, where you didn't really experience any hardships growing up. So how could I look up to you, or how could I tell you you did something great if you haven't been at the bottom? So you got to go to the bottom to get to the top, and that's my goal. That's why I say I want to kick down the door. It's not knocking on it. That's not enough.
Okay. With all this hard training you've been doing, when do you find time to have fun?
It's fun. Training is fun. Like a lot of people ask why do you train so hard? And I get that question all the time. How do you have fun? And me having fun is my daily life. If I do what I want in life is to, inspire others, then that's my fun. I get my joy out of that when somebody says, thank you, Garrison, for, just motivating me to do what I wanted to do to achieve my aspirations. So that's pretty much how I get my enjoyment out of life.
Okay.
But I still party. I try to go to club. Because you feel me? At the end of the day, there's millions of people that are living with depression, living with self-esteem issues. So if I could just come across their path, or just somehow, like I said, if you meet everybody for a reason. So if I could just meet with this individual, no matter what, if you're at the club and somebody say, seeing you here today at the club just brighten my day, then I did something good.
Okay. Yeah. That happens often. I do see that a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I know some people are wondering, is there a special lady in your life?
Nah, I don't have a special lady right now. It's by choice, because right now, I'm so focused on what I'm doing that I don't really have time. And it would be wrong for me to engage in a relationship and not give them 110% into that, because everything I do, I want to give 110%. So right now is not the time, but I read a few books. I forgot exactly which book this comes from. You may know of it, and I think you even say that quote sometimes, where that lady's gonna wait for me. She's gonna come to me once I'm done completing some of the things that I'm out here aspiring to do. Exactly, from The Alchemist. So she's out there. I just don't know where she's at, but I'm not worried about that right now, because she will find me one of these days. And whenever it happens, it happens.
Okay.
But right now, I'm just a single man, a bachelor, just trying to motivate the world.
So, what other sports, if you wasn't doing powerlifting, what other sports or sport would you be into?
I mean, probably wheelchair racing. That's actually how I got into powerlifting.
Okay.
Knowing me, if I was to continue, which I plan on going back to at some point in life, to wheelchair racing, because I do want to be one of the only individuals to ever win a gold medal in multiple sports. I would definitely be doing it in wheelchair racing. And that's kind of how I found powerlifting, through wheelchair racing, with competing with the New Jersey Navigators. And Coach Jimmy Cuevas entered me into a powerlifting meet. And that's pretty much how I got my start. And like with powerlifting and it happening so quickly, it's hard to focus on two sports right now at one time. So I'll probably be doing wheelchair racing most likely.
Okay, I like that. Okay, being that you into fashion and you model, you have a great sense of style, you know, the swag. What are some of your favorite brands to put on?
Okay, well, I like Nike.
Okay.
I love wearing Nike because I like athletic wear. It's comfortable. But if I have to get dressed up, I'd say Tommy Hilfiger is one of my selections. Okay, because they do have an adaptive line.
I like that.
Which I feel that it brings inclusion into the fashion world. I'm pretty diverse. Also, I like wearing the streetwear, MILF Dad, that we're rocking right now, the hats up. But yeah, I'm pretty diverse. I like a lot of different brands. Honestly, I like good quality clothing.
All right. I like that. Where do you see GRP from 10 years from now?
Oh, I see GRP 10 years from now. I see us being bigger than the Red Cross. I mean, that's what I'm aspiring to do, because I want GRP to be in pretty much every country in the world. That's my goal. Definitely, I see a branch of GRP on every continent. And to think about it, it's only 7 continents, so that shouldn't be too hard to accomplish. We making pretty good moves, as people could see on social media. So I do definitely see GRP evolving and being all across the world 10 years from now, and helping individuals from all walks of life in a variety of ways.
Okay. Last but not least, do you see the glass half full or half empty?
Oh, the glass is always half full, because it's a matter of perspective. If you look at the glass as half empty, you're always going to be miserable, and you're always going to be overlooking that there's something in that glass. So when something's in that glass, it only takes a matter of a little bit more liquid to fill it up. So the glass is definitely half full. I mean, it just takes a matter of time to fill it up. So and that's how I feel about life. Like right now in life, you know, things, and this goes with everybody, things may not be going the way they planned it, the way they visioned it. However, it's not the end. There's 365 days in a year. Life is long, so you got every day to just keep fighting towards your goals. And it's crazy what someone once told me. He said it took them 20 years for overnight success. And when you put that into perspective, you say, wow, 20 years it took you for overnight success. So with me, I don't know when I'm going to hit my pinnacle, but I'm going to keep striving towards it. And it takes a little while longer to get something so far ahead. Yep.
I like that.
I
like that.
Yeah, so there's any more questions?
That's it. I mean, that's it for the 11 questions on life with disability.
So I got a question for you now.
Yes.
What makes you such a great person?
Just seeing, you know, being like coming from the bottom, and, you know, I just want to be great, you know. I want a different outcome for my life and my family life, and I want to do something better and positive and stray away from the negativity in life. I try to read more, you know, keep educating myself, create good habits, and eat better, you know, stay focused mentally and block out stuff that is distracting. You know, there's a lot that goes on in this world, like a lot of tragedy, a lot of bad things, but, you know, I'm thankful for, you know, seeing another day, and I got to make the best of it every day. Like you said, it's 365 days in a year. So each day I'm striving to be a better me, and I'm trying to do as much as possible in my power to make sure I do that for not only myself, but for my family, and also to inspire anybody I come across to.
Yeah, you never know who's watching. And you know that horrific horrific incident that happened in New Zealand where,
Yes.
you know, 40 individuals believed was killed. Like,
yeah, 49 people lost their life.
so think about it like that. Like, any day could be your last day. So why not put 110% into everything you do each and every day?
I mean, I try to smile as much every day, laugh.
You
know, it just, I mean, I'm just being here, no matter what situation I'm in, I'm happy.
Yup. So, yeah. So I guess that concludes the interview for us. I mean, I'm off the hot seat.
Yeah, you off the hot seat.
All right. Well,
next week somebody else gonna be on the hot seat.
Yeah. So reach out to us. I want to hear your story.
Yes.
I mean, Garfield right here. He got the questions. We want to know. We want to know about you. Exactly. We want to know about you. We want to give you a platform to express yourself and your feelings on life. And till next time, I want everybody to subscribe,
like, comment,
and tell us what you want. Like, tell us what you want us to report. Like,
all feedback is needed.
Yeah, exactly. If we feel we doing something incorrectly, we need that as well. Because, like we said, we doing all of this just out of our heart. Like, our mind is telling us to do it. We really had no guidance, you know, with starting this. We just decided one day we're gonna start this because I feel like disabled individuals from all walks of life need a platform.
Yes.
At the end of the day. So if you feel that, you know, you want to come on this show, you got some, you know, want to answer some questions, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, because at the end of the day, you could be the voice to inspire someone else to do what they want to do in life.
Yes, exactly. You could be the inspiration for somebody.
Definitely. So reach out to us. I guess till next time, stay blessed. And let those comments come in. Let's do this.
Don't forget to subscribe neither.
Yeah. Subscribe, and share.
Yes.
Keywords. Everything will be in the bio. I'm Big Money G on Instagram.
I'm I Love the Dough on Instagram.
And, you know, we your favorite newscasters. Until next time, stay blessed. All right. That was good.